kind of got a new project. It's not really new. It's actually been sitting here in the garage for about a year. And I promised myself that I wouldn't work on it until the Z was done. But unfortunately, the Z is dead. So I need something to drive around in while I figure out what's wrong with the Z. So I have an E30 laying around. So I'm gonna try to get this thing running so I can drive it until I figure out what's going on with the Z. As you can see, we've been using this thing kind of as a parts and material shelf. That's how long it's been sitting here. Got subwoofers on it. The seats that were supposed to go in the Z. There's some, there's a nice little JDM style bumper in there for the Z. Yeah, so this has just been Z part storage. So about a week ago, we tried to start the car up and the battery was dead. We put another battery in there. The car started, but the clutch wouldn't engage. It's pretty much stuck to the floor. Found a big puddle of fluid on the floor, and after a little looking around, I found that the slave cylinder for the clutch is leaking and the master cylinder is just stuck to the floor. So both are pretty much shot. So that's what I have today. Master clutch, new slave, new lines, and once that's done, hopefully the E30 will be ready to get on the road. Yeah, that's the clutch right there, yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna try to drain out some of this fluid. Yeah, so if you guys can see, I just pulled this line out of there, and it's now draining into Dr. Pepper here. There's a lot of spiders down here, but I just gotta disconnect this hard line here on this end that goes to the master inside the vehicle. Hopefully there's no more spiders. There's one bolt here on the clutch pedal and then two little ones back here that have to be disconnected to free the master cylinder, which is right here. And there's also a soft line that comes in from the top to feed, and then the hard line that I just disconnected should come out through the hole there when I pull the assembly out. So that hole looks bigger than that hole. Oh yeah, that's not gonna fit in there.
Try to take that out, maybe it's a plug. Actually, I think it is a plug. Oh, it's probably a plug so nothing gets in there during transportation, bro.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't know why they did it like that. Cap. That's so weird. Because usually, whoever put this the wrong way. It should have been like that. So you can just pull it out. Leave it up.
Oh, that's smart. That's a smart little fucking maneuver right there you're using, bro. Can we get that for the... Let's show the viewers what you're doing.
Yeah, if it doesn't... There's gonna be somebody on there in the comment section that's not the way you do it. So the little trick I used to get it flush with this, because the new gasket on the new cylinder is so tight. So I was just trying to push it down, but the way I got it in was I just wiggled this, put this wrench for leverage and just wiggled it back and forth and around, and it finally slid in with a little bit of pressure.
That's what she said.
So now it's in there all nice and flush. So we'll install this bad boy and then we'll do the slave. New line here, so we'll just cut a piece of this to the length of that. And then we'll pull it. We'll pull it at the end.
How far does that
there
go?
It is. It has to go to there. I got the master cylinder back in. The two bolts were really tough to get in, those two little ones. The way I finally did it was I connected the front one first, and then it kind of helped line up the back one. And then this big one up here was pretty straightforward. Went back in just the way it came out. So here's the new line that I cut, that we fed through the firewall. Pretty much just connects here. So now I'm gonna go back under the car. I'm gonna disconnect the slave cylinder, and then we'll hook that back up to the master once the new one is in, and that should get rid of the leak. And hopefully, once you connect a new battery, this car will be ready to drive. Oh shit, you can't see anything, but it's the transmission. So right there, I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's the slave cylinder. So I'm gonna disconnect that and then put the replacement in, and we should be good to go. And if you can see all the crust and everything over here, that's the fluid leaking out. So that's where our drain was. All right, so I got the old slave cylinder out. It's all crusty and just disgusting. Top bolt's hard to get to, so I have to use an extension. I actually have to use like 3 pieces of extension and a little 13 mil to get here. So kind of in a weird spot when you do the extension too. Like if you go too far, you're not gonna have enough clearance to ratchet the wrench, or if you go too close. Yeah, so I just use these 3 little Harbor Freight extenders and then my little 13 mil on the end, and that kind of did the trick. If you have a little bendy, that might help, but I was able to do it with just this. If you're reusing your line, you can disconnect this from the slave cylinder, but I have a new one from ECS. It's I think steel braided. So I'm gonna put this onto the new one. Everything's hooked up underneath. So all you have to do is fill it with fluid. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this Motul .4 brake fluid, and then we'll bleed it out. And the clutch should hopefully work. Fingers crossed. Otherwise I won't have a car. This was the battery that was in there that was dead. This is just a Junkator laying around battery. Oh yeah, this thing has a hard start issue. Just have to give it a little persuasion. Okay. Clutch works! I think I can drive it to work. I haven't been breaking my balls about getting to the shop, so. Oh shit, dude, I didn't think this worked. I'm gonna close it back up because I don't want it to break halfway. Let's take this for a first drive. It needs some air in the tires. This is exactly what we did when we first got the Z running. It's like our tradition now. All right, let's go, baby. Woo! This thing is filthy. Instrument cluster doesn't work. So I have no idea what RPM I'm at. Brakes aren't that good. I probably need to bleed the brakes because the brake line and the clutch line pull from the same We got air in the tires, I cleaned the windows, but good enough to at least get me to work.
Several days later.
Alright, so BMW made it to work. The brakes though are not the safest. I think there's a little bit of air in the line. So I'm gonna try to bleed the brakes now and see if that fixes the issue. There's some spiders living in there. Oh, I got Bilstein fucking suspension?
Oh shit, do you?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Dude, I got the little 8mm here that I was using for the clutch. Dude, it's like a 6mm. This is some German bullshit, dude. This should be an 8 or a 10. Who the fuck uses a 6? What the hell? Alright, I just Googled it. It's a 7mm. I don't have a 7mm wrench. So, I guess we're going to Harbor Freight. Back from Harbor Freight. Also bought this big ass set. It was one 7mm wrench. Woo, 7mm. Close up with the fluids coming through. Got a lot of air bubbles in there. Supposed to start at the furthest corner from the master cylinder, so the passenger rear is the furthest, and then I'll go to the driver rear, and then the passenger front, and then the driver front after this.
A little later.
All the calipers are bled, except for that one. When we were trying to bleed that corner and we were pressing the pedal, it was just the pedal stayed rock hard and no fluid was coming out the other end. So there's either something wrong with the line or something wrong with the caliper. Right now I don't have new lines. I don't have parts to fix the caliper, so I kind of just left it alone, and I'll have to come back to that corner. But the other issue with this car that I was having while driving it, the windows are really slow going down. I guess if you spray lubricant, silicone lubricant here in the slides, roll the window up and down again, that should get the windows to roll nicely. So I'm gonna give that a shot now. Not much better. Man, I think it's better than it was. Let's see the other side. Oh yeah, it's better than the other side. The other side's real slow. So maybe one more spray and it'll be good. I think that's as good as it's gonna get without having to open up the door card here. Alright, that's it for now. Alright guys, so I stopped driving the E30. It wasn't safe to daily. There were still a few problems. I didn't feel that it was roadworthy, so I left it at work. I don't know if the guys just got tired of seeing it in the parking lot or what, but they decided to actually fix and restore the car for me. So they did a whole video on YouTube, on the Throttle YouTube channel. You guys should go check it out. But here it is. They got me new wheels, wrap, suspension, new seats, dash. Got me a new wing, taillights. Quinn did a lot of maintenance on the motor. I was almost ready to go on the road, but I just want to thank Throttle and thank everyone who worked on this car. And I'm planning on making some vlogs about it, so go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and follow along and see the journey of my little 1986 E30 here on my channel. And if you want to see the full transformation on how they did this, I'll link it down in the description. Alright, thanks for watching guys. See you in the next one.